Hey guys, okay, today I want to talk about the 4 important hormones that you need to keep your metabolism running in tip-top shape. So optimally maintaining a healthy metabolism. Many of you lose weight, you go on diets, you can't maintain the healthy metabolism that you want. That is sort of the biggest problem, is how to maintain a healthy metabolism so you can maintain your healthy weight, right? So there are 4 important hormones that you need to be nurturing in order to maintain that healthy metabolism and keep that weight off that you've lost. So whether you've already lost weight and you're trying to maintain, or you haven't lost the weight yet, this is a good way to start also doing that, is to lose that weight, not dieting and not calorie counting and not restricting and feeling deprived, because your hormones are really what you need to pay attention to if you're going to maintain a healthy weight. Okay, so let's dive in to hormone number 1. Before I do that, if you're liking my videos, please like and subscribe. I come out with new videos every week. Usually I talk to women with autoimmune conditions, but this one applies to sort of everyone who is trying to maintain a healthy weight and muscle and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's dive into the first hormone that you need to pay attention to. It's called cortisol. Now, cortisol is raised when your fight or flight instinct or your nervous system, your fight or flight nervous system is triggered. And that is when you're stressed. So when we're stressed, when we're not sleeping, chronic stress will raise cortisol. Raised cortisol gives you energy. It raises your blood sugar. Raised blood sugar is a recipe for disaster for your hormones, but it's also a recipe for disaster for burning your fat as fuel, because you're just going to be a sugar burner. So keeping that cortisol really, really calm, not all the time. Obviously, we need to have reactions to things, but being able to regulate that cortisol and have it go up and have it go down, that's totally fine. It goes up in the morning so you can wake up. It goes up when you exercise. That's normal. We're not flatlining here, but we are maintaining a healthy level and healthy sort of ups and downs of that cortisol. Now, stress management is an important part of that. So I actually do have a really cool tool for you. It's just a document with my top 10 tips on how to manage stress. So if you're interested in that, I have put that below this video as well. I want to say at this time, I am not a doctor. I am not giving medical advice. You can, of course, check with your doctor if you're going to work on stress. I doubt your doctor will disagree with any tips that I'm about to give you, but they're really, really important to do to manage your stress. So the number one thing is people talk about is, do I need to meditate? You don't necessarily need to meditate. If you're not meditating, you can take 10, 3, start with 3, very deep breaths, 6 in, 7 out, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Get outside in nature. That's another great one. Exercise, get a hug. There's lots of ways to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest, relaxation, digest nervous system that you need. And that will help you regulate when times are tough and you've got chronic stress. You will not fall apart and be chronically raising that blood sugar. Getting a good night's sleep is another way to do that. So working on your sleep. Hard to do that if you're really stressed, but all of those things, stress and sleep, kind of go hand in hand. So that's the first hormone that you want to nurture and take care of, is that cortisol hormone. Okay, so hormone number 2 that you really want to watch out for and be careful of is the hormone called insulin. Now, none of these hormones are independent of each other. Like I said, your body is sort of a complex system of intertwining, interreacting hormones, and one affects another. So insulin you may have heard of because it's the hormone that kind of keeps your blood sugar at bay. It keeps it in homeostasis. It keeps it level. It keeps it from going, driving up too crazy. That's one of the things it does. So you may have heard of insulin resistance. If you've got a lot of weight to lose, or if you've got a blood sugar issue, your doctor may have said you're heading towards insulin resistance, which means kind of like an alcoholic. No matter how much insulin your pancreas is pumping out, you're not maintaining homeostasis with that blood sugar. Now, one of the things that people like about hearing about insulin and why it's important to take care of insulin is because it's your fat regulating, fat storage hormone, for lack of a better word. It tells your body whether to store fat, store your fat as fuel, or burn it. So insulin comes out of your pancreas. It keeps that blood sugar at homeostasis. It keeps it level. But if you're constantly barraging it with sugar and food and eating every 2 hours, that pancreas is going to work really, really hard in order to keep that blood sugar low. So one of the things I recommend that people do to find out how well they're taking care of their insulin hormone, how well they're nurturing it, is to, when you go to your doctor, you get your blood work, you get your metabolic panel, you do want to ask for fasting blood sugar. sugar, that everybody knows, your A1C, you may have heard of that. The third, very little appreciated and unknown one is fasting insulin. It is not the same as fasting glucose, and it is not the same as A1C. That is going to tell us how your metabolism is running and if it's fat burning or just sugar burning. And if you keep that sugar high by eating every 2 hours, sorry, Gen Xers, I know we were told to do that, or just eating a bunch of junk all day or sugar all day or spiking up that blood sugar all day long or eating, from midnight to 6 a.m. and not giving yourself a little bit of break with the fasting for 12 hours. I highly recommend that. You're going to be burning out your pancreas. You've heard of people getting pancreatic cancer, insulin resistance, all these other metabolic diseases are from working that pancreas too hard, and that insulin is that hormone that is just overworked and can really get you into trouble if you're not nurturing that. And the most important part of this is if you want to burn your fat as fuel, you have got to keep insulin low, because as long as that insulin is telling your body to store the fat as fuel, and sugar burn, you're never going to get down to your fat as fuel and you're never going to lose weight. So that is very, very key. That insulin hormone, nurturing that insulin hormone is a key factor in keeping a healthy metabolism and maintaining a healthy weight. So next up is hormone number 3 and hormone number 4, leptin and ghrelin. Now these are sort of little known hormones, but really, really important. And your doctor or you may have read about something called leptin resistance. Now leptin is your hormone that tells your brain that you're full. So many of you who are 30 pounds overweight have reported to me that you have 30 pounds to lose and you're still hungry. You're hungry all day. You're constantly eating. You've got cravings all the time, sugar cravings, carb cravings. You just can't stop eating. And you need to eat at night or you get low blood sugar. That is a little bit of the leptin resistance. Now, it's a little bit of, I don't want to say like a false disease or false syndrome, but solve the other two, solve the weight, solve the insulin issue too high, and solve the cortisol, and leptin and ghrelin kind of fall into place. So the other two are a little bit more important. Leptin and ghrelin are not important, but I like to talk about it because sometimes people come back from the doctor and they say, oh, I have leptin resistance. I need to take this supplement. It's not about a supplement, you guys. It's about burning your fat as fuel and nurturing some of these hormones. Now, how can you nurture leptin? Give it real whole food. Leptin is going to be satisfied by all the vitamins and the minerals and the protein, the animal protein and the fat and the carbohydrates and anything that you're eating that has real whole food, right? Like the healthy fats, all that stuff. That's how leptin is going to tell your brain and do its job, tell your brain that you're full and you can actually pull back a little bit. Now, this is going to be an adjustment. Anybody who's worked with me who has leptin resistance is going to be hungry, right? And so ghrelin is that hunger hormone that tells your body that you're hungry. And there's a misfire when the leptin is off because you have nothing to tell your body that you're satisfied and you just keep eating. You got this big bowl of food and you're eating and eating and eating. Ghrelin is like, I don't know, I'm confused. So the thing that you're going to do, and it takes about 30 days, is to get off all of the refined sugars, all the refined carbohydrates, eat real whole food from the outside of the market, get rid of all of the packaged, highly palatable, highly processed foods. Why? Those have very little nutrients in them. And lack of nutrients, your body is going to be like, I'm not getting any healthy fat. I'm not getting any protein. I'm not getting any real fiber. I'm getting all these chemicals. I have no idea what's going on. And your body is not getting the message that you're actually full and satiated. And you may have eaten 2 hours before. You're like, I got to eat again. Another sign is you eat a full dinner, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. And 2 hours, 3 hours later, 9, 10 o'clock at night, you're like, my blood sugar is really low. I got to eat something before I go to bed. Wrong. That is a sign that your metabolism is not working well. So kind of back to that metabolism question, how to feed and nurture your metabolism so you can maintain a healthy weight. Nurture these hormones, cortisol, insulin, leptin, and ghrelin, and you will be on your way to maintaining a healthy weight and an optimal metabolism. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button for me and hit the like button. That way more people can hear hear about healthy metabolism, YouTube will push my videos out to more people who need to hear this message. The other thing you can do is if you feel like you have a gut dysbiosis, I've got a really cool tool for you, which is my gut health assessment. Why gut health assessment? What does that have to do with hormones? If you're still listening, I love this. Many of the hormones that affect your metabolism and your feel-good hormones, your serotonin, are produced in your gut microbiome. If that is not functioning properly, you are going to feel depressed. You're going to feel hungry. Your metabolism is not going to work properly. It's all going to be a hot mess. So take that gut health assessment. I'm going to put the link below here. It's totally free. And we will talk about best strategies to heal that gut, which will in turn nurture the hormones that we talked about in this video. I hope that was helpful. Bye, guys.